Hello. Yeah, it's just me today, sorry. Yeah, this is me wearing one of my shirts. It's the two shirts I wear, which is the dark blue one. This is underneath it, and my suit, yeah. This is for, quite warm, this radiator is.
Oh, hi.
I see dead people.
Through your mirror glasses. I think I angered him.
Ow!
I wouldn't put that one on the internet if I were you. No,
I'm not going to. Hello, welcome to a small behind the scenes thing. Here is Devonte.
Hello.
Hello. I love the way you say hello. It's epic. Anyway, yes, it's got a current thunderstorm at the moment. It's the summer holidays. Look at all that. And it's all, I don't know why, but we're about to start filming episode 3. Yeah, we filmed episodes 1 and 2 today, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Adam. Yeah, and he plays Professor,
from what I can remember, Dakota, isn't it?
Yeah, Professor Dakota Sutcliffe.
This is Time Traveller. This is Aiden James Whitfield. I'm looking for creatures that are low budget, so basically all we do is just show their eyes, so...
I don't go there with episode 3. Oh.
We can't afford actual aliens.
I just couldn't be bothered to bring this stuff with me.
Right, Ted, you just stand still looking at him, alright? 3, 2, 1, and... action!
One set, I'll do that again.
And action.
The moment where one man and a woman love each other very much.
No. 3, 2, 1, and action.
Hello, dear. Yep, and action.
What is this arm doing? I told you to keep it here.
You told me to put it up there just now.
Keep it here.
Oh, this is what filming is like. Okay, ready, and action.
For goodness sake.
I came up with the idea for Time Traveller in April 2010 when I'd cancelled the second series of Stranger. The ironic thing was that Donald Borgnine, who plays James Whitfield, was meant to be in Stranger Series 2, and he appears in Time Traveller Series 2. But he was originally meant to play Dr. Aaron Thompson in Time Traveller Series 1 to make up for it, Stranger Series 2 not happening. At that time I was 14, going on 15 in a couple of days, and I think he was about 12, I think. That's a really weird thing about it, because he's 15 now.
I was first offered to be in Time Traveller, actually, when it was actually starting. I was offered the part of Dr. Aaron Carter back in 2010, but there were difficulties with meeting up with Connor, so yeah, that didn't turn out so well. And then, yeah, then Connor actually offered me to play James Whitfield in Series 2, and I was excited for that because it was the first time I've ever been in someone else's film besides my own. So yeah, I was very excited about that actually. So yeah, and we did organise to meet up. I met Connor, filmed an episode, and it was a great time. And from then onwards, I've been down to Connor loads of times to film Time Traveller Series 2, Time Traveller Series 3, and it's been a fantastic experience. Like, the scripts are great, the people I've worked with are great. Connor and Ollie, I've done scenes with them, and yeah, I was able to act with them greatly because they're also brilliant actors as well.
Well, over the period of time we've been doing Time Traveller, really, everything's changed. We sort of shaped it to how it is today, obviously. When I first started, it was simply, in the nicest of ways, it was a fan film of a fan film. It was a fan film of Time Agent, but now it has truly become its own independent thing. We've evolved on it, and even though, some people were saying that Series 3 was like Time Agent Series 3, but it wasn't. It was its own thing. It had its own storyline, and once the epilogue comes out, you will see what's behind that and be able to understand how it's different and its different values and whatnot and what goes on.
And to think that it's now all over in a way, it's very emotional because Time Traveller, it's sort of gotten me quite a bit of recognition, so I'm sort of glad of that. So I've got a lot to thank Time Traveller for. So yeah, to think that it's ending, that I'll never be playing James Whitfield again, is quite sad. But you know, it's I am sort of glad I went out on a very good note. Actually, you know, I stayed throughout the entire thing, so I'm very happy with that.
Well, first impressions. It wasn't bad, I guess, for the first few episodes, the first series. If anything, being honest, I thought, okay, somebody's copying Time Agent.
I'd come up with this idea that I would have wanted to have done at least 3 series of Time, which is what I've done. But at the time, I was thinking I'm not going to do a 4th, and I was like, okay, I came up with a storyline for every series, a brief story arc of each series, so I knew what I was doing. So series 1, which was the portals, series 2, which was the fact that Nathan will die at the end, and then will have a massive impact when he doesn't actually die in series 3, which was series 3 Domination, and the idea that the world will be taken over by some megalomaniac, and that is why they all went back in time in the first place. So that was my idea that I came up with when I was 14 or 15. Obviously it's changed a little bit since then, because it has been nearly 3 years. So it changed briefly. The idea was, you know, that it would just be a megalomaniac who was just lust for power, but in the end it ended up being Nathan's dad in the younger version, and also the descendant ended up being the dad as well, so the older version of the dad as well. So it all changed drastically there.
I'd say some of my favourite moments is actually when I do shouting and screaming scenes, because, you know, that's, because I'm very good at that whole thing, and like, you know, I do love moments. And I think some of the scenes I really enjoyed most was filming with Ollie for the James and Emma scenes. I think they were fantastic to film. So yeah, and also I really like like my character's entire performance throughout the thing, due to the fact was you find out loads about him throughout. Like series 2 you find out a little bit about him, series 3 you find out quite a lot about him, and yeah, so series 3 was good. And special that's being done, James plays quite a minor part in it, but he gets a very decent scene that I think people will enjoy, because I think people like to see a bit more, one last bit of James before the whole thing ends. So yeah.
Do you think that viewers who have never seen the first 3 series of Time Traveller could just join right at the epilogue?
I suppose so, because you know you've got the previously at the beginning, which literally does more or less explain what Time Travel is about. It does say from the very beginning what's going on, the whole background to the story, and then the epilogue itself, you know, just goes on and explains more about it and reveals background, and you got some flashbacks in there and everything. So, in a way, even though you got flashbacks and then you got the ending, it's a beginning and an ending, because even though it's the last episode of Time Traveller, with all the flashbacks and the way that it actually ends with Alex and Natasha going off to the 100th century, where you know that they'd obviously go and have Nathan and all of that, while that's the ending, it's also the beginning. So, you know, it is Time Traveller in a nutshell.
Do you think it's improved since it started?
Yeah, I definitely think it's improved. The way it's edited, the way the effects are done, and generally the acting has definitely improved over the series. And yeah, it's much better now. It looks much more professional.
I have to say, it was the first time I've ever actually played a proper death scene. It was quite enjoyable. At the same time, it was kind of scary that Connor was just dangling me over Ollie's living room floor. And it was just pretty cool. I like Time Traveller as a series as a whole, because it's got the dark dramatic side to it, and then it's also got this side to it where it has this underlining emotional story, and I think it was beautifully written and well directed. And Ollie's about to make out with Connor Chadwick right now.
What do you make of your character? What's his role in Time Traveller?
Well, I'm Agent Lynx. I started Time Traveller in a sense. I sent Agent Nathan on his first mission. I quite liked the character to begin with. I thought it was a role that I could, that suited me, and I was happy to get the part.
Funny enough, Ollie Silcock approached me saying, "Can I have a part?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was trying to get newsreader scenes done for series 2. And I was also thinking, I'm not going to do any casting for the megalomaniac character yet. And Ollie was like, "Can I have a bigger role than the newsreader?" And I was like, oh, okay. And then the idea of the newsreader becoming the evil guy came along because he wanted to play a villain. I was like, oh great, you can be the villain in that. Because I've seen his work, being angry and screaming, and that is much better than I could do, or I thought anyone else on Time Traveller could do. But then we were filming some of the Series 3 montage, and then I personally saw Donal do his best work. Why did you want to be a part of it?
Well, because, you know, it just sort of grown and I quite like the idea of it. And, you know, I mean, I messaged you saying that I wanted to be an evil villain and all of that. And, you know, and you already had an idea for an evil villain in mind anyway that was very similar to the idea I had, funnily enough. And, you know, it just really appealed to me. And, you know, I'd done most things being sort of good guys. And I wanted to be Emrys.
Emrys. I kind of liked his slow descent from Alex to Emrys as a whole because I just think Emrys is. Is a brilliant character because he holds different aspects of one's identity, which kind of applies to many people today, and right. But Emrys as a whole. There was some parts where he was completely dark, and then there was just some parts where you actually can see Alex reflected as part of his character, which I think is really powerful to have. And I think it was quite brilliant acting, and it was brilliantly written by both Connor and Ollie, and I'm kind of proud of being a part of it. It's kind of fun.
Fuck you doing, you little.
That's to say in a graveyard, isn't it?
Oh, for Christ's sake. I mean, oh no!
Just stop talking.
I like the ending because of the way that it ends, but then all characters go off their separate ways and what have you. But then it has to link back to the start, so the ending, in a sense, is the start. So I like that. I thought that was a very, very clever plot line.
What I plan to do after Time Traveller, because it's been a great experience, but you know I can't just stop now. So basically, yeah, I've also just recently filmed a Doctor Who pilot episode written by Ollie, who also actually wrote the special for the last ever special Time Traveller. So yeah, that's also something I'm working on, and that might get turned into a series, so that's quite good. And yeah, also I've actually just been offered a role in the very popular series Time Agent, which is also Ollie and I have also been offered in. So we're very looking forward to that. Due to, yeah, it's quite a lucky experience, once in a lifetime, I say.
If you could rate Time Traveller out of 5 as a whole, what would you give it?
As a whole, I'd probably give it maybe a strong 4. 3 to 4, I'd say. Mainly because I think there's maybe a few things that could be improved, but nothing too extravagant.
That's that really, and then after that it's done. I don't want to do it.
3, 2, 1, and action.
Tell me about it. 3 years.
The last ever line of Time Traveller.
Tell me about it.